No, well, maybe I'll eventually get to making this video that I wanted to make for a while, but I seem to keep getting interrupted. But we'll see what happens this time. So I've been wanting to do this video for a while. I'll try to keep it under 10 minutes. And it's on the singing practice that I've come up with. It's got very many different origins of some of the practices. And we're going to work with some AUM chanting, some Khoomei overtone singing. That's the most common Mongolian overtone singing you'll hear. We'll work with some Kargyraa, that's throat singing, and then just singing, right? And I was drawn to this practice because I think realizing that I had been not so in touch with my emotional centers or center, and needing to have an outlet of some sort. So I developed this. Usually I practice in the car on the way to work. It's calm enough there, and it's actually a good place for overtone singing. You can hear yourself really well. There is a sort of call to some of these singing types, so just whatever hits your heart, stick with that. And then there's also a spiritual side to this, which is we're going to do some chakra balancing and maybe some energy center sensation, feeling like that. Okay, so the start of my practice, I always start with Om chanting, and this is something that I got from Sadhguru in his online inner engineering course, but I've morphed it a little bit from his practice. But basically, when you start seeing Om, his claim is that it is the base universal sound of relaxed voicing. So basically, you go and there's three sounds: ah, ooh, and and each one of those sounds actually hits the energy center from the bottom up. So ah is deep in the belly, ooh is in the heart center, and is in the head. So when I practice, I do 7 times of 7 counts. So I will go and when you do that, try to feel the vibration in your belly, and then ooh in your heart, and in your head, and you'll feel it. You will feel the vibration. My voice right now is in a great spot. I'm not sure why, but and that's actually part of this practice, is becoming okay with wherever you are. So my voice right now isn't great. It's like I feel like I'm getting a little cold or something, but it could have been from singing this morning. I'm not sure. But anyways, it's a little dry, and I'm accepting that where it is. It may not sound the best, and that's okay. Next, I'll do Om chanting 21 times only, trying to drive the energy from the bottom, from my belly up into my head. So it'll be quicker. It'll be Om, 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 Om. And see if when you start to ah, you can feel that in your belly, and you move it up to your head. It's easiest to feel the head for me. I can just go and my whole head will vibrate. And your head is the place of thoughts, and your heart, the emotions, and your belly is your body. These energy centers, you're trying to balance these energy centers and see if you can feel them in one spot. You work with it in different ways. See if you can feel it. If you feel one weaker, then try to just make that sound, and then stay there and see if you can come into contact with that vibration at first. The next part I do is some Khoomei, and so Khoomei is overtone singing, and it can be done in many ways, and we're all doing it all the time is one realization that I had. It's just, you take a single tone and you change your lip shape, or your mouth shape. You change the cavity, and then the overtone coming out will change. So the easiest way to see this, and I'm doing it right now, and you can kind of start hearing it in people when they talk, if you like, is you just take a tone, like I'm going to make a tone, and then you make a tone, and then you just change your mouth shape and listen to the overtone change in there. So, see all those different tones in there, but I was the same bass tone in my throat. So when we do Khoomei, the easiest way to do it is to take a mid-tone, so kind of a higher mid-tone for yourself, whatever that is. So I will go like that. I'll take that tone. Then you make a shape with your chin out. Your jaw is gonna go out, and you'll move your lips, and it's like you're whistling. So if you're good at whistling, you can do this, no problem. That's the whistling sound. So if you can whistle different tones, you're just going to do the same thing, only you're going to have a shape. So that will sound something like and there's a resistance there that you can make it last longer, right? And then once you get really good at that, try seeing what tones match what chakra centers on yourself. So for me, usually I'll start here in the throat and move it to here and up and back down many times to all the different chakras. And if you don't know where your chakra centers are, that's okay. Go read about them, see if you can feel the sound once you get a little bit better with it. So typically I'll do several repetitions up and down my own personal scale and see if I can feel the sound in each one of those centers, and see if I can vibrate it. And that's subjective to me, is my bias contributing to that? Maybe, but it may be something more like you fake it till you make it, right? And then once you feel the vibration there, you're actually vibrating it. So that would sound something like and usually right now that's not too great. My voice is a little off, but it's okay. It's okay. Your voice is where it is at, and some days it'll be better and some days it'll be worse, and it's all just a subjective measurement based on yourself and your own perception. So next, I'll typically do that and see if I can find a balance in there, and then I'll start into the Kargyraa practice. Kargyraa, which comes from a more of a sound, like, and you hear this in some like country singing. You'll hear them do this a little bit, but the real ones you hear doing it are the Mongolian, Tuvan throat singers, and the Tibetan chanting ones. They'll do a real deeper one. When you're starting out with this one, definitely don't go for very long, because it can damage your voice box very easily for more than a couple minute practice. So I'd recommend just practicing for like 30 seconds for a couple of weeks and doing it consistently, and then step it up to like a minute. Otherwise you're going to lose your voice potentially, which is not worth it. It'll heal, but so you want to get this sound. You just start with a like you're coughing, but see if you can feel that roll in there. And then see if you can extend it out with your mouth closed. that's down in here, and you're actually vibrating the chords themselves. And then practice slowly opening your mouth. And you may need to change your head position forward or back a little to get the most comfort out of that. And then try opening your mouth with it, closing your mouth, making some different sounds. And then even after that, you can try changing the frequency of that. So some of that might sound like so that's like just the mouth shape part. And then once you get a little bit more comfortable, try to increase the frequency in there. So that might sound like and then at each one of those little ones, you might be able to open your mouth and work with that. And underneath each way you open your mouth, and you might hear some different little overtones in there, and they might draw something out. And so with that practice, I just try to feel into my heart and my throat center and just feel what's coming up for me. And that brings me to the last part, which is just singing. And usually I will sing without words. And a lot of the singing I do comes, sometimes I'll work in the Khoomei or the Kargyraa, but a lot of times it's just singing, and it might sound Native American or it might sound whatever. And you can start with a rhythm, or you could start just singing. And it might depend on the day what you sing. Like a happier might have a little bit more of a cadence to it, and remorse might sound completely different and less and just from the heart. And it may be good to listen to other cultures' music, because it has actually a lot more range than the typical first world range right now. For a long time has just been sort of this, the popular stuff is really alternative, and it's about relationships, and the common threads there, which are very good to explore. But there is these other harmonies and these other haunting melodies in the other cultures that can really speak to somebody. So I would suggest, there's a couple of channels on YouTube that are really good for listening to other cultures' music and things like that. So we'll just see what comes out here in the next couple of minutes, and then you can take from it what you want. It might sound not so good, or it might sound whatever. It might not sound so good to you, and we'll see how I feel as well. And a lot of times I'll just start with a tone and just see where it leads as well. Ooh. So something like that is more of a remorseful tune, and that kind of matches where I've been at today. Some days it'll be angry, and there's some different things that come out there, some more, rough sounds, and sort of a force with it. Other days it's more happy, and it's just coming into this emotion and being able to express it out through your self in some way for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be for anybody else. It could just be for you. So I'll stop there, and if you have a comment or a question about anything I can do, I can post a follow-up video for how to do this stuff more clearly. But I just wanted to share this practice that's been so helpful for me in releasing some of the stored up emotion, and just coming into contact where I am now, today, and what kind of thing bubbles up. I have usually I'll record them too, and I have like about 100, different recordings of sounds and songs that I've made up, or little melodies and things like that, just to kind of feel what I was feeling that day. So I hope this finds you well and is helpful. Bye.